Okay, sorry about the delay there. Let's get started. So, welcome back to another Hot Hardware live stream. I'm Chris Goetting, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Moto Z2 Play, which is a follow-up to last year's Moto Z Play, and actually ended up being one of my favorite phones. So let's go ahead and get into the box here that Motorola sent over for us. And it looks like we've got a couple of little cubbies here. I'm going to guess the phone is here, so let's start elsewhere. So up top, just have some bubble wrap. And this looks like the JBL speaker mod for the phone. So let's just pull this out and take a quick look. So this should pop right on the back of the phone and give a nice boost in audio. One thing I noticed, at least on last year's Moto Z Play, is the speakers were a little bit anemic. So if you are looking to play some music for friends or just fill a room, that should do the trick. So nice bright red, kind of a satiny look to it. And of course, we have the cutout for the camera here that's going to dock around. All of these mods will have contacts down here that will fit with the back of the phone. So just to pull over my Z Play from last year, we can see they match. And the nice thing about this system is Motorola's ensured that the mods will be applicable to future generations moving forward. So even though this is for the Z2 Play, I can pop it right on my Moto Z. And if we open this up, I can see that it has recognized the JBL Soundboost 2 and should be able to play some audio for it, but we'll wait on that until we get the Z2 Play cracked open. So let's just get this out. This one does fit. Oh, I see there's a release on the bottom here. A lot of them you can get from any angle. This one seems to be a little more picky. And the other thing about this mod is it does include, I believe they say 10 hours of battery life. Yep. So it's a 10-hour battery bank on top of being speakers, which is really, really nice. And there's a USB-C charger right here. USB-C port, sorry. So you can charge that up separately from the phone and just grab it when you need it. So we'll set this aside for the moment and get into our next box. And again, some more bubble wrap. Always nice. Sorry if I destroyed anyone's ears there. And so now we have the Turbopower pack, sorry. So this is just a battery bank for the Z Play, Z2 Play, and any member of the Moto Z family, really. And we'll slide this out. Anything else? Just some information on it. We'll pack that away for later. So this is actually quite thin. Sorry, Dave is just sending me a message that there may be an issue with the description on the stream. I'm not sure. We'll fix it after the stream. But anyways, so this is a battery bank, and it's going to offer us, let's see, another 3,400 milliamp hours. So should get us a good amount of charge. I know on my Z Play that's 3,510 milliamp hours. I can get like 10 hours of battery life on that, so this should be an excellent boost to battery life. 20 hours between charges of screen time is pretty ridiculous. And it's also very nice and thin. I was expecting to have a bit more bulge to this. And I just need to get my view back. So really does not add a lot of thickness to the phone. We'll go ahead and throw this one on the old Z Play as well. And you can see it maybe about doubles the thickness, not quite. And it has a very nice grippy back. So little tougher to let go of, and it should be durable. It's rubberized, so it can maybe take a drop. Over here, it looks like there's a USB-C port. So again, you can charge this mod separately if you so desire. And it's got the same cutaway on the back for removing it a little more easily than some of the older generation mods. So now that we have our speaker and turbo power out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the main event, because I believe this one's empty. I know they said they're going to be sending over a wireless charging backplate. So this is the standard style backplate, and they do have a wireless charging equipped one now, but we do not have that yet. So let's get in and take out our Moto Z Play. And I think this will slide right open. Again, full box experience. This is the Verizon version. The unlocked version of the Z2 Play is coming later this summer. So it will be available on all carriers eventually, but just for Verizon right off the start. So the Z2 Play steps up from the old Moto Z, taking it from a Snapdragon 625, which is a very efficient chip, to the 626 Snapdragon. So it's a little more power, still very, very efficient. I think it's actually supposed to be more efficient. We'll see in our testing. One notable downside to the Z2 Play, though, is they have taken the battery life down a bit. So instead of the 3510 milliamp hour battery, I think it's just about 3000 on the new phone. Popping it open, we see our phone's just right on top. And we're going to set this aside while we see what else is in our box. So pull away the cardboard cover. In here, there's just some carrier information, a SIM tool, and that's just an empty bit of nothing. Very good. And here we have our turbo power brick. I don't have the old turbo power brick in front of me, but this one is smaller than the one from the original Z Play, and it does have a removable USB, whereas the previous version it was attached, so you couldn't pull the cable out to connect to your computer. You needed a separate cable for that. So this is a good step in the right direction for Moto. And let's pull this out and see how long it is. Looks like it's going to be about 3 feet or so. And if you can see on the camera, yeah, it's about 3 feet. So you're not going to get a lot of distance from the wall, but it's best to not keep your phone charging while you use it anyways. So not really a problem. Besides, this thing should have plenty of battery if it's anything at all like the original Z Play. So you're not going to have it on the charger much as it is. All right, so let's bring in the original Moto Z on the left and the new Z2 Play on the right. And by face, they're pretty much the same. Obviously, we have a white face on the original Moto Z and a black face version on the Z2 Play. The flash and cameras are in the same spot, but at the bottom there is a new fingerprint reader that is rounded out to an oval instead of the old square. Kind of your preference if you like that look or not. The fingerprint reader on the old version was nice and quick, so I expect the same here. We'll take this over. So the left side is still blank, and the right side has the same button arrangement. So we've got volume up, volume down above the power button. Up top, same SIM tray location. This is notably thinner than the original Z Play, so I guess the sacrifice of a little bit of battery life gives a little bit thinner of a feel. And on the bottom, we still have a headphone jack, which is missing from at least the old Moto Z. I don't recall if the Z2 has a headset jack or not. And of course, a USB Type-C connector. Just feeling these two phones side by side, the Z2 Play has much more rounded corners on it. so it's a lot easier to hold without the back plate. One thing I noted with the original Z Play is you really needed the style back plate in place to be comfortable to hold. I wouldn't say that's the case here. This is very comfortable just as it is, but I would still put a back plate on it just because there is a sizable camera bump here. So when you lay it down, it's just not quite gonna be steady. It can scratch, all that stuff. So if you put the back plate on, then, you know, you've pretty much avoided all of that. Though it does look here like this camera bump is ever so slightly higher than the Moto Z. I don't know if you can quite tell on the camera. If I switch back to the original Moto Z, it's actually completely flush, if not indented here. So it's slightly taller camera bump on the Z2 Play, but I don't think that's going to be an issue with anything. So same process. We can take the battery mod and connect it in, and it's gonna light up, tell us it has charge. We can charge it, same story. We'll see if this is actually going to turn on the phone or not. It at least shows it's charging, so it will provide power while the phone's off. But let's go ahead and bring this on now and get rid of this plastic, if you can hear that. There we go. So very bright screen, I will say that. Bring up my brightness here. Hard to say just yet if it's brighter or not, but it's certainly got some punch to the display. Very vibrant colors from what I've seen so far. So we'll just walk through the setup real quick. Of course, this is just saying let's go. I think it's blown out on my camera a little bit. We'll have to wait a moment until I can bring the brightness down. So it'll be activating the phone. I'm just going to pull our battery bank off for a moment, just to make sure there's no mess up. So activating the phone. Again, this version is for Verizon, but there is a unlocked version of the phone coming later this month, or later this summer. Sorry, I'm not sure if it'll be out the end of July or not. So that's not a real phone number. Because I'm just going to be ditching the SIM. And I'm not going to copy my data yet. I'm just going to give us a fresh start. Again, says it's taking a minute or two, checking information. And I'm just going to sign in real quick. Sorry, I can't share with you. I'll give you a box to look at. Alright, so we're adding our account. Getting account info. Sorry, the camera's not quite picking up here. And hello, Dave. I'm just now seeing your comment. I should do a better job of looking at that. So we'll go ahead and add a fingerprint here. And we'll say a pin. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose my pin first of all. Okay, so our sensor's at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and follow its instructions first. Just going to ask us to tap a bunch of times. So boom. Getting different angles, and a nice full picture of the finger. Guess it was a little too far on the side for that read, but overall went through. And it'll unlock the phone, yada yada, Google services, sure. They're going to be tracking everybody anyways. I'm going to skip Verizon Cloud because I think I've been getting notifications that that's shut down now, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not sure why it's quite adding that. I don't have any other email account to add just yet, so we'll skip through there. We'll accept terms. Got it. And here we are at the home screen. So it does have the new launcher from the Pixel phones here with without a dedicated app drawer button. So we'll just swipe up instead. And looks like it's called App Flash is the left screen. Sure, we'll just turn on everything. Why not? And so it looks like it's kind of doing a sort of Google Now thing, discover some restaurants around you, music, etc. Flipboards on there, suggested applications. We'll see if we keep that or move to something else. Looks like the notification sound's there. I don't know what that has to do with anything. There are updates to do, so we'll go ahead and launch those just in the background. I'm also going to throw on Wi-Fi here. All right, enhanced caller ID, that's fine, that's nice. So far, the experience with nothing on the phone is super smooth. So even though it has that Snapdragon 626 processor, and same thing with the original Moto Z with the 625, is, it doesn't slow the phone down at all compared to flagship devices. It's still a very capable processor, just has more efficiency, but you're trading in the 3D performance for it. So if you want to play a lot of the nice 3D games, it's not going to serve you as well for that. But for just checking email, Facebook, all that stuff, the 626 processor is plenty capable. So we will want to see exactly how well the battery performs, because again, it was cut down from the original Moto Z from 3510 milliamp hours to about 3000. But if the processor is more efficient, it shouldn't make that big of a difference and still be ahead of most any phone. So it should be excellent from that standpoint. The Turbo Power Pack, we'll just go ahead and pop that on so you can see the full experience once again. So connected, slid in, and here it comes. Okay, just added an extra battery and turbo power charging speed to your phone. So presumably, unlike some battery packs, like cases you can get, this will have a faster charge rate for you. And we do get a notification with this, as you do get with all the mods, so we can check the settings. And we can see, of course, our battery level, and there's also a battery mode here. Let me bring down the brightness so it's not so blown out. Actually, the brightness is quite low. This goes really, really bright. We'll bring this down all the way, and hopefully that'll stop it from washing out. So, just a touch up. So the battery mode gives us two options. So there's a turbo that'll top it off and go full speed on charging. There's also an efficiency mode. So if you're just trying to recover your phone and get it back up to full as quickly as you can, you'll want to pop it on turbo. It'll dump it just like a battery bank, fill it as fast as it can. If you want to leave this on all the time, which makes it a little thick, but overall not bad, you can instead choose the efficiency mode. And the efficiency battery mode is going to try and keep the phone up to about 80%. So you'll see... Let's see if we can, if this widget works the same as the old. And give us side options. Nope. Anyways, the battery life is going to come up to 80%, and it's just kind of going to hold it there, going to trickle in charge as it needs it, and it's going to make it last longer. On a given charge. When you get up to maximum battery charge on a phone, there's more resistance in the battery. It causes it to slow down. You lose a little bit of efficiency with that. So Most of the time, it'll probably be just fine to keep it in efficiency mode. You can switch it over to turbo if you're having a battery emergency and need to be somewhere without the battery pack. I don't think there's a whole lot more about the battery pack to say, other than we have a level indicator on the back with the press of a button. And I believe this is going to work on the go as well, so it does not need to be connected to your phone to see the level, so you can keep an eye on it. Let's switch our attention to the JBL Soundboost 2. And I also forgot to mention earlier that this has a kickstand as well, so you can kick it back and watch some YouTube or whatever you like without needing a separate device to hold it, and it should give us good sound. So I'm trying to think of some nice free music we can play. Let's see, because I don't want to get copyright striked on here. Dave won't be too happy with me. Alright, royalty free music. There we go. Just play from the audio library. And let's try this.
So it's your friend's birthday.
Of course.
How do you find the perfect gift? Download the
Nice little
Amazon
YouTube
app,
ad.
let it find you. Just seen your mom.
Which we'll skip. Amazon Prime Day is coming on July 11th, I believe. For anyone interested, you can check out more details in the hot hardware post we had the other day. So it looks like it's going to prompt us for a dedicated app for the JBL Soundboost 2. So we're going to go ahead and get the app. And it's my JBL Soundboost 2. Continue. And I don't need no credit card number for this. Okay, so there is an equalizer we can turn off, on. We can swipe through different styles. So I think that song we had queued up was hip hop, maybe jazz. We'll see how it goes. And that's very full sound. Let's see. I'll try not to clip the microphone. So there is a little bit of thump to the bass. We'll turn that down. And that's not even a full volume. So let's just take a second here and see if we get some distortion. So yeah, there's just a touch bit of distortion in the treble as it gets up in volume, but the bass stays pretty strong, not too muddied or anything, and it is definitely loud enough to fill up my room here without much issue. So very nice boost of sound there compared to just there we go, just running the phone on its own, which just does not have the bass. So if you really want to bring in that bass, that nice low end, keep it rich, the JBL mod is going to help you out a lot with that. Plus it's just convenient to have the flip out stand and be able to use it that way. And I am watching chat, by the way, so if anyone does have any questions as we go, I'm happy to answer them. But other than that, I think we are about wrapped up with this. So we'll be doing some benchmarking, testing, battery life, analysis, all that good stuff in a full review that'll take just a couple weeks to get out. I have some other things queued up first, but I wanted to get this out because this might become my new favorite phone. I really love the Z Play from last year, mostly because of the battery life. So if this can hold up through my 8 to 10 hours a day of screen on time of my general usage, I'll be very, very happy with it. If not, I always have the battery pack to throw on, And the last bit, I think, as a launch bonus is, don't quote me on this if I'm wrong, but I think Moto or Verizon, I'm not sure which, is throwing in the JBL Sound Pack as a freebie when you buy the Moto Z2 Play for, I think, $499 as the launch price. But other than that, make sure to check out our Twitter at Hot Hardware, our Instagram also at Hot Hardware. Stay subscribed here, Hot Hardware, on YouTube. And of course, come by the site, join in conversations, get to know us, say hi, give us your input, and we look forward to seeing you.